This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, y'all. Finally, Hino's Sport has broken silence. Hear me and hear me. Well, we about to get right into it. I told you guys, man, that Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev. Let me say it again. I told you guys. Let me say it again because for the number 3 for confirmation. I told you guys that the Canelo Alvarez versus the Sergey Kovalev fight was a fixed fight, folks. The fight was fixed. This was staged, fixed tomfoolery. Let me say it again. It was staged, fixed tomfoolery. Anyone that has a brain could see that this fight was staged on so many epic proportions and so many epic levels. I mean, come on, look at the Jumbotron. Look at the banner. Look at the montage. I gave you guys the timestamp on my community post from 4 hours, 11 minutes, and 8 seconds, all the way up until the 4 hours, 12 minutes, and 23 seconds. Go back on the DAZN app. They probably put that shit down. Now that I put it on a community post, they probably blotted out because they don't want you guys to see that. At the 4 hours, 11 minute, and 8 second mark. And see, this is the problem with classic dolts and troglodytes. Rudy Poo and Plum Plum Brains. Ultra fucking fanboys with the ultra fucking fanboy rhetoric. They don't understand boxing. They don't know shit about the politics and the corruption. They don't understand the financial legalities associated with boxing. All they know is to do this. Run their freaking mouths like the haters and the damn trolls that they are. These cult-like followers are so bamboozled. I told you guys, Canelo Alvarez is the LeBron James of boxing. Let me say it again. He is the LeBron James of boxing because he has followers that are blind. It's basically the blind leading the blind. And you know how that old saying goes. When you're the blind leading the blind, you lead all yourselves into a what? A ditch. Let me say it again. When you are the blind leading the blind, you lead yourself into a what? A ditch, folks. It's really that simple. All of these blind people are being led into a ditch. This was a hoax. When you have so many fighters, Andre Berto, Chris Eubank Jr., when you have folks like Badu Jack, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the list goes on and 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 on. Austin Trout. These fighters are coming out and more continuously coming out. Andre Ward saying Sergey Kovalev was shot. Come on, man. I told you guys, Andre Ward did the damage to Sergey Kovalev. We already know that. I've already exposed that for what it was. He already whooped this guy mentally and physically. He set Sergey Kovalev up, the wounded animal. Who's the one that said this? He knows the sport is always the trendsetter, dog. Always the standard bearer on YouTube. Believe it or not, folks are making videos based on these community posts that I made. Big YouTubers, mid-level YouTubers, and small-level YouTubers. Because they know they have to make a direct video in contradiction of what I said, or they have to make a video that falls in line with what I said. But I was the first motherfucker that told you guys this fight was going to be fixed. I know this because the Hino's Sport birdies report back to Hino's Sport to tell Hino's Sport, yo, we got your back, Hino's Sport. We made comments on these motherfuckers' videos and these motherfuckers' channels, and we put it out there that Hino's Sport was the one that said this all along. He said the fight was going to be fixed. And you know what I say to the Hino's Sport family? Salute. You know what I say to the Hino's Sport birdies? Salute. You know what I say to the Hino's Sport lifestyle folks? Salute. Because salute to y'all, man. Y'all get the Hino's Sport salute. Because y'all understand. You guys are three-dimensional thinkers. You get it. You've been paying attention to Hino's Sport enough. You've been proselytizing to what we call rare and true, purest knowledge sports folks. You understand sports for what it is now. You're Sun Tzu, aka Art of War, is in your own right. You're 7 steps ahead of the game in your own right. Because you've been listening to Hino's Sport enough. I told you guys, man. They're trying so damn hard to make this guy become the next Mexican Mayweather. Let me say it again. They're trying so fucking hard to make this guy become the next Mexican Mayweather. And it's falling on deaf ears, man. Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder could see through this bullshit, man. Let me say it again. Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, and God rest his soul, Ray Charles. That man could sing. Stevie Wonder could sing. They could see through the fucking bullshit. They could see this stage fixed and tomfoolery nonsense. How on the Jumbotron, the montage, the banner, you sit here from the 4 hours, 11 minutes, and 8-second mark. You make this comparison. How dare you? With him, the great Henry Armstrong, you make the comparison between him and Cinnamon Alvarez. The only two fighters to have 3 division belts in 3 different weight classes at the same time. Okay. There's no denying that because we know Canelo Alvarez got at 154, 160, 168. But then to turn that bad boy around and to then say, and tonight at the 4 hours, 12 minutes, and 13-second column, I know y'all motherfuckers saw that shit. Canelo Alvarez will now be the 4-time division champion in 4 different weight classes at the same time. Which is the 4th weight class? Come on, you dodo heads, you brain full of mush and you brainwash followers. What 4th weight class are they talking about? And people that are sitting here telling you, oh, that's just for promotion. You're a fucking classic dodo and a troglodyte. That means you don't have a brain. You have a peon damn brain. Let me say it again. That means you don't have a brain. You're a peon brain. You gotta see through the bullshit. How the hell did DAZN know well in advance that he was going to be the 4th time? You guys think that was promotion? Or you think it was a setup? Let me say it again. Do you think it was a promotion or do you think it was a setup? How the fuck do you know before a fight of this epic proportion and this epic magnitude, right, that this guy is going to deliver those goods? Because it was already a staged, fixed tomfoolery. He knows his sport. When I told you guys this was a paid to lose on steroids fight, nobody wanted to listen to me. This fight is very reminiscent of the Danny Jacobs fight. They did the same shit to him. This is why I'm ashamed of Danny Jacobs. The man was paid to lose as well too. He sold his soul, dog, to Cinnamon Alvarez. And he said again, he sold his soul to Cinnamon Alvarez. But people don't want this cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat truths because they want to say, oh, he knows the sport is tripping. He knows the sport is on his shit. No, I'm not. It's called being a truth teller and coming in truth-telling fashion. Remember what I told you, motherfuckers? The truth hurts, but guess what? It will set your ass free. Let me say it again. The truth hurts, motherfuckers, but guess what? It will set your ass free. And that's what I just did. I set your ass free with the truth. Because I'm Sun Tzu, aka Art of War, dog. 48 laws of power. I'm ahead of this damn game, man. Can't nobody corrupt my brain. It's a 3-dimensional thinking brain. It don't reside on this regular realm, dog. I told you I'm not a regular cat, nor do I think regular, nor do I reside in regular realms. Let me say it again. I'm not a regular cat, nor do I think regular, nor do I reside in regular realms. I'm not regular. Nothing about me is regular. Everything about me is special. So when you're getting special message from a special cat, you better gobble that thing up like a fucking turkey, dog. Because I see shit for what it is. You got multiple fighters. Badu Jack. See, this is why the Badu Jack one hits me more than anything. People could say what they want about Austin Trout because they could say, well, he's in his feelings about the fact that he lost to Canelo Alvarez. People gonna run with that narrative because that's what they do. Even though Austin Trout is well past the whole situation of him getting a controversial decision against Cinnamon Alvarez, he was just looking at shit for what it was. This is a stage fucking fight. Because he was mired in a stage fight, a controversial fight to promote this guy. This is why nobody universally accepts this guy as a fighter. Because there's controversies after controversies after controversies associated with him. He's mired in decisions after decisions after decision. Shit, look at the scoring card. This is what's laughable to me. Because Kovalev was actually up 6-4 before the supposed KO. Let me say it again. Kovalev was actually up 6-4 before the supposed KO. You know what the paid to lose Canelo Alvarez, Cinnamon Alvarez card said? He was going to win the fight by majority decision. Who said that? Who predicted stage UD, MD, or SD? Let me say it again. Who predicted stage UD, MD, or SD? So either way, he knows the sport was on the thumb. I'm always on the thumb and the needle of this shit. This is why motherfuckers on YouTube can't stand me, dog. They're making the opposition videos to try to counter what I say. But you can't counter the truth. Because the truth can't be argued upon. It can only be agreed upon. Let me say it again. The truth can't be argued with. It can only be agreed upon. And if you're arguing against the truth, you are in error. I don't mind. And see, that's the thing. I don't have time to be sitting here coming after people. If you want to have a balanced analysis of the fight, that's on you. You could choose to be blind. That's on you. If you want to sit there and act like this was a real fight that was presented in front of you and that they did not bamboozle you, that's on you. But us as boxing fans, we can't sit here and let this tomfoolery, this stage and this fixed bullshit happen, and we don't stand up and see the foolery for what it is, the tomfoolery that is. Do you know what they're doing to you as boxing fans? They're basically telling you you're fucking dummies. Let me say it again. Do you know what they're doing to you guys as boxing fans? They're telling you you're fucking dummies. You don't know better. So we're going to put something in your face because you are Rudy Poo and Plum brains. Why do you think I use the term Rudy fucking Poo and Plum brains? Because that means your brains is filled with plums. Your brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo head. Your classic dodo troglodyte. This is why these incendiary words keep being used over and over again. Because this is how they're treating you guys. What He Knows the Sport keeps saying about you guys, they're treating you guys like this because they see that for what it is. You can't tell me that no one did not see that Sergey Kovalev was hesitant, not fighting the fight that he normally fights. How is his jab going through Canelo Alvarez's guard as much as it did, but then all of a sudden, oh yeah, his power jab is gone? When Sergey Kovalev throws power at you, you feel it. Even Canelo Alvarez said, I felt his power. But Sergey Kovalev kind of held the power back? Does that make any sense to you? When have you ever seen Sergey Kovalev not throw his right continuously, regardless of the fight he's in? And when did Sergey Kovalev ever not have a champ? Have anyone ever seen Sergey Kovalev get dropped? How the fuck does Cinnamon Alvarez go to 175? A weight class, mind you, he's never fought at, but he knocks out Sergey Kovalev. Does this make any fucking sense to you guys? And here's the other thing that people don't want to talk about, because He Knows the Sport is always the one to roll the red carpet out on your asses. Sergey Kovalev fought this fight 5 to 6 weeks later. Do you guys realize that a fighter is supposed to have at least minimum a month off after their last fight? Then they have a 9-week training camp. Do the fucking math, folks. That's 4 weeks plus 9 weeks. That's at least 13 weeks minimum. Do you realize this fight actually took place in half that time? So this man, Sergey Kovalev, who told you at the end of his post-fight that he did not recover from the concussion that he got in the Anthony Yarde fight, which makes sense because Anthony Yarde almost knocked his head off in the 8th round, almost knocked him out. Didn't recover. So you mean to tell me the Cinnamon Alvarez folks did not have that intel? Come on, folks. This is where the KO happened. Because they already fought. They were already fighting a guy that was concussed. Do you guys not understand when a fighter is concussed, it's easy to KO them? Oof. I'm dropping jewels right now. I'm dropping gems, dog. So hear me and hear me well. This is what happened in the Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua fight. Not taking nothing away from Andy Ruiz, but Anthony Joshua was already previously concussed. So when Andy Ruiz dropped them bombs on his ass, it was easier to get his ass out of there because he was already concussed in fucking sparring. This is the same shit with Sergey Kovalev, dog. Anthony Yarde had this motherfucker concussed, plus he already was concussed from previous fights before that. Do you guys not understand the concussion and the CTE protocol with fighters? Once they have gone through a concussion, they can get a reoccurrence of concussions. Let me say that again, because what I said was so deep and profound. Let me rewind it because it needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Hear me and hear me. Wow, this one's going to marinate in the corpus callosum. It's going to marinate in, guess what? The medulla oblongata. Because this one's going to have to stick, motherfuckers. Because He Knows the Sport was the right motherfucker the whole time when I said this shit. When a fighter goes through a concussion, do you realize they can have a reoccurrence of concussion? This is part of the concussion and CTE protocols. Fighters and boxers, right? Combat sport fighters, football players, they all go through the same shit. Even basketball players from time to time when they have head collisions. Once a person who's an athlete, or a high-level athlete, a professional athlete at the highest order goes through a concussion of that magnitude, there's a reoccurrence of that shit happening again. Sergey Kovalev went through this shit in the Andre Ward fight, the second fight. He was concussed. He was in the hospital. Do y'all fucking research. Anthony Yarde fight. And then now you mean to tell me the Cinnamon Alvarez folks didn't have that? All Cinnamon Alvarez had to do was land the right in the concussed area. This shit was staged, motherfuckers. Because how the fuck does Sergey Kovalev hold his fucking punches back, a concussed Sergey Kovalev, mind you, still was able to be up on the scoring cards, the real scoring cards, but then hesitant, pulling his punches. Cinnamon Alvarez knows this man is concussed and just landed the shot right there on the fucking temporal, right there on the fucking chin to get his ass out of there. Because if you look at the way that Canelo Alvarez hit him, it was a combination of temporal to chin shot. He knew exactly what the fuck he was doing. Because he threw an overhand right. And what does overhand right do? It gets the whole part of the face. That means you're getting temporal and you're getting chin. Let me say it again. You're getting temporal and you're getting chin. That's what the overhand right is such a good punch for. Because a lot of times it could get the behind the ear, it could get the temporal, and it could get the chin. Every fighter has an overhand right in their arsenal. So Canelo Alvarez throws a Hail Mary shot. And the Hail Mary shot that he fucking throws, it delivers, right? It lands, it seals on Sergey Kovalev. This was like, it came out of a fucking fairy tale, and motherfuckers can't see this shit. This is the thing that makes me laugh. And these are people that's supposed to be cerebral folks that's supposedly supposed to know boxing. I mean, the fact that you sit here and justify this, you really need to get your head checked. Let me say it again. The fact that you sit here and justify this, you need to get your head checked. Folks need to boycott the DAZN, dog. Folks need to sit here and have an uproar against the DAZN. Because the DAZN is sitting here and putting up tomfoolery in front of you. Staged and fixed nonsense. I told you guys, Canelo Alvarez is their darling, dog. He's the darling of the Mexican boxing community. And he's the darling of the DAZN. Everything the DAZN does, they promote this cat. So they have to make their money off of him. They invested $365 million on him. So they got to recoup their investment. So they're going to promote the fuck out of him. And they're going to have his cult-like followers eat this shit up. And they're going to defend him. This is why I call him the LeBron James of boxing, man. Because just like LeBron James, you can't tell his followers shit. Let me say it again. Just like LeBron James, you can't tell his followers shit. I'm ranting a little bit because he knows the sport needed to come out with a video that was comprehensive enough to break this shit down. Because motherfuckers ain't listening. 4 fighters. They're not connected to each other by any stretch of the imagination. Austin Trot ain't connected to Badu Jack. Badu Jack ain't connected to Chris Eubanks Jr. Chris Eubanks Jr. ain't connected to, you know what I'm saying, Andre Berto. These motherfuckers don't know each other like that. But they all came to the same conclusion in their own iteration and in their own ways. Just like he knows the sport. The fight was fucking fixed. Do you guys not understand how highly Badu Jack always talk about Canelo Alvarez? That's why, to me, his stand out more than anybody else. Because how the fuck you go into a weight class you never fought at? Do you guys understand the jump from 160 to 175? But yet, all of a sudden, you're able to knock out one of the biggest and baddest guys at that weight class. This is Comedy Central at its truest and its most properest levels. Trust and believe Canelo Alvarez ain't fighting no Arthur Beterbiev. He ain't fighting that dude. Because that dude ain't going to be paid to fucking lose. Now let's talk about 160. See, this fight right here, boxing fans didn't want this fight. Boxing fans didn't ask for this bullshit. They force-feeded this bullshit down your damn throats. This is what classic dotes and troglodytes don't understand. Rudy Poo and Pum Pum brains on the string. Ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric don't get. We didn't ask for this fucking fight. The fight that we want is the fight that Canelo Alvarez got his fucking franchise tag. Remember what I told you what the franchise belt is? It's a belt to conveniently duck the lions of the division. He ran his ass away from Lions only Jamal Charlo. Ran his ass away from Boo Boo, who would have boxed his fucking ears off. This is the facts, folks. He don't want these arduous fights because he knows these guys right here, they're not going to be paid to fucking lose. They ain't going to be Danny Jacobs. Now, at the end of the fight, what do you hear Canelo Alvarez say? Oh, I don't know if I could go back down to 160. It's going to be very difficult for me. This man is preparing built-in excuses after built-in excuses after built-in excuses. He's already got the franchise belt, the WBC belt, to conveniently duck Jamal Charlo. Now that he's ran his rabbit ass up to 175, this is a double way to duck. Because now he can bounce his ass from one weight class to the next. This is a big Mikey Garcia. Go to the other weight class when, oh shit, this opponent's too hard. Let me run my ass up to 168. Oh shit, this opponent's too hard. Let me run my ass up to 175. Oh shit, let me run my ass back down to 160. He's going to go back down to 160. But you best believe it ain't going to be those guys he's fighting. That's the truth of the fact of the matter. And if folks continue to allow themselves to be delusional, then continue to be delusional on your end. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.